Right now, somewhere high above American skies, a bomber built before the internet, before smartphones, before color television, is preparing for a mission. This aircraft first flew when John F. Kennedy was president. It stood on nuclear alert during the Cuban Missile Crisis. It flew combat missions in Vietnam, Iraq, Afghanistan. And here's the part that sounds impossible. The United States Air Force plans to keep this bomber flying until 2060. That means some of these aircraft will be nearly 100 years old and still ready for war. This isn't science fiction. This isn't nostalgia. This is a real multi-billion-dollar upgrade program happening right now. So how does a 1950s bomber become a next-generation weapon? What kind of upgrade is powerful enough to rewrite the rules of military aviation? The answer is going to blow your mind. The bomber that refuses to die. Meet the B-52 Stratofortress. When Boeing designed this aircraft in the early 1950s, it was never meant to last this long. Engineers expected a service life of maybe 20 years. Instead, it outlived every bomber built to replace it. The last B-52 rolled off the Boeing assembly line in 1962. Let that sink in. These aircraft are older than the Vietnam War, older than the moon landing, older than the pilots flying them today, and even their parents. And yet, right now, 76 B-52s sit on alert at air bases in Louisiana and North Dakota. Ready to launch at a moment's notice. Air Force crews call it the Buff. Big, ugly, fat. Well, let's just say the last word starts with an F. It's not stealthy, it's not fast, it doesn't look futuristic. But when a B-52 shows up, everyone pays attention. Why it never got replaced? The Air Force tried multiple times to retire the B-52. First came the B-1 Lancer, a sleek supersonic bomber built to replace it. That didn't work. Then came the B-2 Spirit. Stealthy, advanced, incredibly expensive. Still, the B-52 kept flying. Now, the Air Force is introducing the B-21 Raider, one of the most advanced stealth bombers ever built. And guess what? The B-52 isn't going anywhere. Here's why. The B-52 can carry 70,000 pounds of weapons. It can fly over 8,800 miles without refueling. It costs less to operate than modern bombers. And most importantly, it never stops working. From Vietnam to the War on Terror, the B-52 has flown combat missions in every major conflict. Troops on the ground recognize its sound instantly. That deep, rolling rumble of 8 engines overhead. It means help has arrived. But by the 2020s, the Air Force faced a serious problem. The breaking point. Those 8 engines? They were designed in the 1960s. The Pratt & Whitney TF-33 engines had powered the B-52 for decades. But time finally caught up with them. Pratt & Whitney stopped making parts years ago. Mechanics began cannibalizing engines, pulling parts off one bomber just to keep another flying. That's not a long-term solution. Air Force officers admitted the engines were. Finding new and creative ways to fail, that's military language for, we're running out of time. So the Air Force faced a decision: retire the most reliable bomber ever built. Or attempt something no one had ever done before. They chose the second option. The $48 billion gamble. In December, Boeing received a massive contract. At first glance, it looked like $2 billion. But that was just the beginning. The total cost of the program? $48.6 billion. This wasn't maintenance. This wasn't refurbishment. This was a complete transformation. When it's finished, the aircraft won't even be called the B-52H anymore. It will be redesignated. The B-52J. A new variant, new capabilities. Same legendary airframe. So what does nearly $50 billion actually buy? The engine upgrade that changes everything. Let's start with the biggest change of all. The engines. Rolls-Royce won the contract to provide F-130 engines. The same engine family that powers the Gulfstream G650 business jet. Each B-52J gets 8 brand new engines, replacing technology from the Kennedy era. These engines are more fuel efficient, more reliable, easier to maintain. And here's the genius part. They're already in production. That means spare parts will still exist in 2050, 2060 and beyond. No more scrapyards, no more duct tape logistics. If you think that's smart planning, let us know in the comments. A 1950s bomber with 24st century eyes. Engines are only the beginning. The B-52J is getting a completely new radar system, an active electronically scanned array, or ISA radar. This is the same class of radar used on modern fighter jets. It can track multiple targets at once. It works in bad weather. It improves navigation, targeting, and survivability. The cockpit is changing too. Gone are the analog dials. Gone are handwritten coordinates. Digital displays take their place. Information flows instantly, from satellites, drones, and command centers, directly to the crew. Section 7. The weapons transformation. Now let's talk firepower. The B-52J gets a new internal weapons bay upgrade, increasing payload capacity by 66%. That means more precision weapons, more flexibility, more options. It can carry modern cruise missiles, decoy missiles, 2,000-pound precision-guided bombs. 2 B-52Js will carry more weapons than 3 older B-52s combined. And externally, things get even more interesting. New pylons can carry single weapons weighing up to 20,000 pounds. That includes the largest conventional bomb in America's arsenal, the Massive Ordnance Air Blast Weapon. In theory, a single B-52J could carry multiple ones. No other bomber can do that. The future bomber fleet. By the 2030s, the Air Force's bomber fleet changes completely. The B-1 and B-2 retire. Decades of hard use finally catch up with them. What remains is a two-bomber force. The stealthy B-21 Raider and the upgraded B-52J. The B-21 handles penetration missions. The B-52J does everything else. Standoff strikes, maritime patrol, close air support, strategic deterrence. Together, they cover the entire spectrum of modern warfare. Why this is even possible? So how can a 1950s airframe last a century? The answer is simple. Over-engineering. When Boeing built the B-52, they didn't have advanced computer simulations. So they built everything, stronger than necessary. That extra strength, those thick wings and reinforced structures, are paying dividends today. Every time a B-52 goes through depot maintenance, inspectors check for microscopic cracks and corrosion. Problems are fixed early. The bones are good. Everything else can be replaced. According to Air Force engineers, the B-52 can safely fly well into the 2060s. That's not optimism, that's data. The challenges ahead. This upgrade isn't without risk. An Air Force audit revealed gaps in spare parts tracking. Some suppliers from the 1960s no longer exist. Cannibalization is still happening. Maintenance timelines are long, up to 260 days per aircraft. The Air Force is racing the clock. Those old engines can't last forever, but massive new hangars are being built. 4 aircraft at a time will be upgraded. The goal is full operational capability by 2033. Why it matters? So why go through all this trouble? Because building a brand new bomber fleet would cost far more. The airframes already exist. The crews are trained. The infrastructure is in place. And more than that, the B-52 does something no other aircraft can. It can stay airborne for hours. It can carry every weapon in the arsenal. It can strike anywhere on Earth from US soil. And when ground troops hear that rumble overhead, they know they're not alone. The B-52 has defended America for over 7 decades. Through the Cold War, through regional conflicts, through the War on Terror. Now, with the B-52J upgrade, it will defend America into the 2060s. Pilots, not yet born, will fly these aircraft. That's not just engineering, that's legacy. If you want to stay updated with our latest videos, hit that subscribe button and tell us in the comments, do you think upgrading proven aircraft is smarter than building new ones from scratch? We'll see you in the next one.